100% preparation for you to have any chance to win an Olympic medal. So what Olympic Gold Quest does is, we look at the balance 3-4% which is remaining. I don't have 250 crore which government spends on our athletes. I have 3 crores which I spend very judiciously, where I say I'm going to give a permanent physiotherapist to Saina Nehwal. I'm going to send Gagan Narang to Birmingham just so that he can select the best ammunition for himself. I'm going to get a dietitian and a group of dietitians in place for Mary Com, who's now going to, from 48 kilograms, fighting for a 51 kilogram category. And they do a great job and get her weight up with no flab, only muscle. Of course it is money well spent. I wish I had 30 crores. I would have had 150 athletes and we would have got 12 medals. Medals are a function of money. Medals are a function of how much we train, how efficiently we train, and how intelligently we train.
As the name of Sachin Tendulkar and Vishwanathan Anand was suggested for Bharat Ratna, do you also expect the same?
I personally feel a sports person's name should never be nominated for a Bharat Ratna. Not a Sachin Tendulkar and not a Vishwanath Anand and not a Leander Paes. A Bharat Ratna is an award that should be given once in 35 years. And it should not be politicized to just garner public sentiment. You need to have one such award given every 30-40 years to people who have done some outstanding service. A Mother Teresa, yes, a Bharat Ratna. A Mahatma Gandhi, yes, a Bharat Ratna. People who have contributed to the upliftment of our nations. Industrialists, no. Sports persons, no way. Entertainers, no way. Musicians, no way. We are all in our own personal gratification and personal pursuits of learning to play a musical instrument very well, or putting balls into a pocket, or whacking a red ball with a bat. They're meaningless human endeavors. There are far greater human endeavors. So your answer to the question is absolutely no. No for myself and no for none of these categories that I have mentioned.
Thank you so much.
We have a question from Mr. M.B. Vaze. A little feedback on what you had asked. So if you would like, asking the question. Yeah.
This is not regarding sports, but just the human behavior. You mentioned about one Mr. Patel family helping you. Do you have still contacts with them?
Of course I do. Of course I do. He's a very dear friend of mine. He has remained my dear friend of mine since 1984. And just 9 months ago, he called me. He said, Geet, I'm starting a restaurant in Houston. He's now shifted to the US over the last 20 years. I'm starting a restaurant in Houston. This was Wednesday. And he said, I'm having a small, just to tell you, I'm having a do on Sunday. I took the flight and went. I just went there. I said, I've got to be with you. Of course.
In continuation to same, I would like to ask you, sir, if Mr. Patel has not helped you at that time, can you imagine what Geet Sethi would have been?
Well, I think a sports person lives in reality. I'm a very, the word if is it's a very delusionary world. It's a word which kind of takes you into realms of fantasy, and it takes you forward, it takes you backward. So I don't think about the word if. But I think in the overall scheme of things, I think the universe was beautifully arranged at that time. Can you imagine the chances of an Indian billiard player going to the UK and finding somebody who will host him for 3 months and take him around in his car, the fact that he was not employed, that he was without a job? Can you imagine the percentage? I think if an audit is done, it will be like 0.0002 millionth, chance. So I don't know what I would have lost. I would have come back, but I've never really thought about it. The fact is, he was there. And I'm so grateful and thankful for that.
Is this sport a rich man's sport?
I would think it's a sport which is accessible to very few in our country, as is tennis, as is golf, as is badminton. These are the few sports that are very, they're not accessible to many people in our country. So in a sense, it is a rich man's sport, unless you are an army officer's you're in the armed forces or you're in the civil services where you get clubs to play in. But other than that, yes, it's a rich man's sport.
How can an individual maintain consistency on the path of success? I mean, in today's times, it's difficult to be successful. But once you are successful, it's even difficult to maintain that path. So, what could you share with us with regard to that question?
Well, I think what you're saying is once you are successful in a particular field, how do you see? That's the difference between a champion, and I'm not saying champion only in sport. That's the difference between high-end achievers. It is the longevity. And I was listening to Carl Lewis in an interview on CNN IB, and the anchor was constantly saying, "What about Usain Bolt? What do you think of him?" And Carl Lewis said, "It is the longevity of a sports person that defines his eventual expertise." So you've got role models of longevity ahead of you. A Ravi Shankar, who kind of performed at such a fantastic level and with such frantic pace till he was 80. MF Hussain, who painted till he was 90. Now, these are the champions that we need to look at. And how do they make it? They must have tasted success at the age of 25, a Ravi Shankar. And how do you think he did it? He did it by not getting sidelined. He did it by keeping the blinkers on. I think keeping the blinkers on is very, very important to pursue any field of human endeavor. They kept their blinkers on. And as you grow older, it becomes more and more difficult for you to keep the blinkers on because your mind starts expanding. And therefore, it's with great admiration that I talk of people like MF Hussain and Ravi Shankar. Fantastic. The ability to just focus on that thing, not get carried away. Today there's a party, tomorrow there's a thing, no, it's just Riyaz. Till the age of 85, he used to practice his sitar. So,
thank you so much.
Keep the blinkers on.
We got a lot of questions about your inspiration. Could you tell us who is your inspiration for billiards, maybe even in life? Who inspires you?
I've had no inspiration in billiards. Like I said, I came up just getting on the table and playing the game. And when into my third or fourth year, I didn't even know who Michael Ferreira was. So, no inspiration in the game. But having sustained myself for the last 38 to 40 years in the sport, I have huge admiration and huge regard for Steve Davis in snooker. He's a fantastic role model. He's the same guy, he's the answer to your question, the previous question of how you keep sustaining at the highest level for 35 or 40 years. Inspiration in life, there's only one man that I think can inspire our nation, and it's Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah. He's an incredible guy. Guys, you must read Mahatma Gandhi. You must read him. If you've not read him, if you've not read about him, please read him. He's the most philosophical man that India has produced. Yeah. So please read him.
So, over 20 years, you've played a lot of opponents. You won 9 championships, and a question came saying, you won 9 championships, so that's even more than Michael Schumacher. Which was your most memorable win and why?
Sorry, what is that?
Which was your most memorable win and why?
Well, world titles are world titles, and it's so hard to win a world title. Each one of them is special, but I guess if you ask me, the first one will always cherish it. The first one, when you just do it, it happens. It'll always remain marked in your mind. But every Olympic medal won is special. Every world title is special. Yeah.
Sachin?
Sir, you recently said in an interview that your 8 titles or 9 titles that you won, you would give it away for an Olympic medal. So I would like you to comment on this.
My friend there will be very angry, but no. The Asian Games and the Olympics, when you go as an athlete to the Olympics, you truly, in spirit and in mind and in emotion, you represent your country. You are a part of your country. And when the emotion which kind of is fostered at the Olympic Games is all about the country. and you win a medal, what happens? Your flag goes up at the victory stand. They don't give you any prize money. Yes, they give you a gold medal which has 6 grams of gold in it, but it's the flag. That's what we are fighting for. That's what we are doing war on the field for the flag to go up. And when your flag, when your medal is a gold, is a gold medal, along with the flag, your national anthem is played. The national anthem is played only of the gold. It's all about that emotion. It's a fantastic emotion of patriotism. Of course, we live in a global world, but we all live, and that's the beauty about the Olympics. I'm coming to you. It's the beauty about the Olympics. It instills fantastic sentiment of patriotism. Fantastic sentiment of patriotism. It's not only the guy who's standing on the victory stand who has a tear in my eye. I know I have a tear in my eye every time one of our athletes wins. Yeah. It's such an emotionally charged experience. Terrific.
Thank you so much, sir.
And finally, one thing that you said stuck in my head. You told a student, keep your blinkers on. Yesterday you spoke about being in the moment, being present. If you could finally, as a last culminating thought, speak a little about that to the students of Chogle College and those
I'll give you a great definition of concentration that I came across, and it's in the book that I've written. And I'll give you a small example. Do I have 2 minutes or 3 minutes?
2 minutes. No,
Yeah?
no.
2 minutes? Umaji, now you lead. So, the definition of concentration is the intellect supervising the mind to remain in the present. Okay? And it's a beautiful definition. Every sportsman understands the definition. I'm going to give you the story of James Watana. He's a 19, at that time 18-year-old snooker player from Bangkok. Won the World Amateur Snooker Championship, turned pro, landed in Birmingham, playing in his first professional snooker tournament. And he played brilliantly. He was at a high. He's playing for a prize money of £200,000 in 1989. And he's playing Jimmy White in the finals. He's played fantastic snooker. He's playing Jimmy White in the final, and he's leading 8-6, and it's a best of 17. He needs one more frame, 8-6 or 8-4. And suddenly he was playing superb, and suddenly his game collapsed. And he started playing like an ordinary club player, and Jimmy White, his game went up 8-5, 8-6, 8-7, 8 all, and Jimmy White won 9-8. Immediately after the match, they take them for a interview, press interview, and so they take the loser first. So Watana was taken to the interview, and the press just asked him, Watana, what happened? 8-4. What happened at 8-4? And his answer, he was 17 or 18 at the time, but what an answer he gave, which just validates this definition of concentration, intellect supervising the mind to remain in the present. He said, when I was 8-4 up, my mind traveled to, and he mentioned a street in Bangkok. My mind traveled to some bin bounce of some street where I had seen a house which I wanted to buy for my mother with the 200,000 pounds that I would get. So you are playing the finals of the biggest tournament of your life. You are in a match arena, but your mind can actually, you lose reign over your mind for a split second. Not only does it go, but he said, I was unable to get it back. He said that, he articulated it. He said, for the next 5 frames, I could not get my mind back. And there lies the essence of concentration, and there lies the ability to concentrate, that you have to consistently, constantly, every minute of the day, be constantly reining in your mind to keep focus on the moment. You'll get tired, mind will get tired and it will snap, but you have to consciously see to it that you have reins, and that is the secret of concentration.
Thank you, Geet. Thank you very much.